Welcome everybody. This is Wednesday, the third day of International Coaching Week. This is an excellent opportunity because of the COVID-19 lockdown situation many of us find us in to connect with each other, support, share, and really just take inspiration from our International Coaching Week speakers. It's going to be a fabulous CPD and business building experience for everybody. I'm Dawn Campbell, your host and director at the IAPC&M, International Authority for Professional Coaching and Mentoring. And today I'm joined by Iulia. So welcome, Iulia.
Thank you.
Iulia Sorescu, I know reasonably well because she's written for our blog a couple of times. And I know a little bit a story about her, that she's been in quarantine probably a little bit longer than the rest of us because she spent January and February under a lockdown at home working and studying for her psychotherapist exams. And then at the end of February, she decided to celebrate and party, but caught a bad flu, which kept her in for another couple of weeks. And just as she was ready to surface again, then the official lockdown happened in Romania. So she's probably had one of the longest quarantine periods of all of us. But since her New Year's resolution was to take a photograph every single day, this has helped keep her on track. And interestingly, she hasn't run out of subjects yet. She's the founder of Uprise Action, and she is passionate about helping young professionals secure guidance, inspiration, and motivation, and create that life and career with a social impact. So she's passionate about creating a holistic approach to career planning, using psychology tools, and of course, therapeutic benefits of photography in her practice. So I know that my business partner at the IAPC&M, David, is just as keen as I am, and obviously everybody on the call, to hear how does photography.
You can hear me? Hello? Okay, so you can hear me when you are muted. We lost you for a bit.
I said yes, sorry, I had an internet connection problem for a moment, but I'm back. Did we lose you and everybody, or was it just me that went?
I think it was just you for a moment.
Okay.
But right. We can move on. We are used to this problem right now, and we are kind of in this Facebook memes about Zoom calls when the microphone is muted or.
Thank you, Dawn. You just confirmed it was just me. So you heard me introduce Iulia. So let's learn more from you about how does photography enhance the coaching experience, please.
Okay, so thank you, Dawn, for introducing me, and thank you all for joining us today. Because as Dawn told you, I lost track of time spending at home in lockdown, where I live with my 3 plants, one being over there, if you can see it. And the reason this story is important for today's webinar is actually the personal challenge that I took, the challenge to take 1 photo a day, which became actually a stay-home photo challenge. And you can see, can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can.
Perfect, because these 5 photos are actually some of the 150 something photos that I took this year, just being inside from my balcony. Well, I'm lucky to have a nice view, but still. And looking back to all these photos made me realize one more time the power of photography.
Iulia, just a second. You're coming through very crackly, so if you can try not to move too much, because you're fading in and out, and I don't know what you're doing with your hands, but if you're rustling something, it's more or less blocking you out. Sorry.
Okay, I'm trying not to move. I'm just handling the presentation.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so trying not to move. It made me realize that the power of photography. For me, it brought back mindfulness, because it's actually the single moment when I can stay still and when my thoughts are quiet and leave me alone for a bit. It helped me explore change, explore how I changed during this period of lockdown and staying at home, how the nature changed actually, because it was winter when I started and now it's spring and everything is green. It is a way of recognizing the things that I'm grateful for, the little things that matters. The thing that the fact that I have a nice coffee mug or that I can see the sun outside from the window. And there are so many benefits for photography: well-being, inspiration, enhancing creativity. And for me, it was a really good starting point for keep going actually in these times, because I'm an extrovert and I like to go out a lot, and it was a bit challenging for me as well to stay at home. So this is the power of photography, a gateway to our minds and soul, a visual reminder for what we are standing for and what it is important for us, and proof of change. And as a starter, I would like to try something with you. We'll see how it works. It's a bit strange because I can only see Dawn. I'm used to live workshops where I can see and interact with everybody, but I hope that you can jump in the chat room. So I have this photo for you. Just take a look at it, take a deep breath, and then just write your first answer in the chat box. What does it mean to you? What do you feel when looking at it? We have offering, openness, growth, support, peace, care, gratitude. Wow, this is so amazing. Calm, nurture, refreshing. Life. So you see, this is how one photo depicts perfectly one of the most important rules in coaching, that of speaking our client's language. Because we all saw a pair of hands and a yellow flower, but still we got so many different answers. And this one photo could help us enhance our coaching practice, as it can help us connect easier with our clients. It can help us discover their story in a non-intrusive, smooth way. And it's opening conversations and endless possibilities. And most importantly, and what I learned, and I'm constantly learning from our interactions, even here, like reading again what you saw in that photo, refreshing, peaceful, regeneration. It's a learning way. It's a way we can learn from each other and learn that even though we have the same concrete reality, we perceive it so differently. And yet all the perceptions and all the words are correct for each of us. And once we start learning this, and we see that this is a process that replicates perfectly in our daily interaction, we start enhancing our relationships and work better with each other. And this is how photography can be used in coaching and in self-development practice. Like it's not only for the use of professionals in training, education, counseling, it's also a way of working with ourselves, with our friends, as a way of enhancing communication and relationships, and build from here. So during this webinar, I'd like to take you through phototherapy and therapeutic photography, a little bit of how I'm using photography in coaching, in my coaching practice, and with my own self when I'm doing my reflective practice. And at the end, again, I will try to replicate short activity with you all. I hope the internet won't broke and the screen will still share by then, but bear with me, we'll see. We'll play together. So if you are in the coaching business, or if you have some experience with self-development, you are familiar already with vision boards, that collages that helps you keep in mind your dreams and helps you put them into practice. And these kind of collages are actually a photographic practice, and one of the more, and I will be back to that soon. And you know, phototherapy, because I will refer a bit about phototherapy, is not new. It has some history, but the practice that we know it and how we use it right now started with Judy Weiser in 1973. She actually introduced the concept of phototherapy, and she talked about the 5 techniques of phototherapy the practices. And 20 years later, she wrote, as I called it, the Bible of phototherapy. It's from where I took my inspiration. It's like phototherapy techniques exploring the secrets of personal snapshot. And what you see here is actually a photo on the cover of that book, and Judy Weiser herself. And I want to start with my favorite quote from that book. It was really difficult for me to pick one, as it is the most highlighted book I have. It's incredible, and she's so generous in sharing her practice with the public. So photographs are footprints of our minds, mirrors of our lives, reflections from our hearts, frozen memories we can hold in silent stillness in our hands forever if we wish. They document not only where we may have been, but also point the way to where we might perhaps be going, whether we know it yet or not. We should converse with them more often and listen well to the secret lives that they can tell. Something that I want to invite you to do today, and why not maybe from now on, to start listening to the photos, because you know we have these little gadgets with us with which we take hundreds of photos every day. We are connected on Instagram, on Facebook, on social media, and we live in a visual world. We have this amazing opportunity to have images and photographs at hand every single day. And why not start talking with them and listening to them? So we have 2 concepts here. We have phototherapy and therapeutic photography. And before talking a bit about them, I just want to point out that it is actually the heart that matters, not the art. It is our meaning, the meaning that we project into those images that we are dealing with, we are taking or viewing, that matters most in these processes, even if we talk about phototherapy or about therapeutic photography. Judy Weiser talked about a continuum. So they are not distinctive practices. They are interrelated and connected. Therapeutic photography practices are actually coming from phototherapy practices. And just one second. I'm seeing here that the bandwidth is a bit low. If you need to turn off my video, if you think that it's improving the quality of the sound, I can do that. Okay, let me know if it's better this time. So going back to phototherapy, it's a therapy practice. It's run by trained therapists under the guidance of a therapist trained in phototherapy techniques, where clients explore what their own photos and family albums are about emotionally, in addition to what they show visually. And it follows the rules and the ethics of therapy. And within this phototherapy, we have 5 techniques, which I will explore further into the phototherapy, therapeutic photography techniques. So we have photos which have been taken or created by clients. These are the photos that we take usually, or that we gather. It can be collections of magazine, postcards, even the Instagram newsfeed, that we collect in terms of visual representations. Then we have photos which have been taken of clients by other people, and there are 2 sides here, even posing or spontaneous photos. And these are really nice way of showing how on one side we allow others to see us, and on the other side how others see us and see our personality that we are not aware, maybe we are not aware of. We have clients' self-portraits, and here we can include selfies or even the metaphoric representations in photos of objects that are important for us. And in this sense, it is our connection with the world. It is what we let the others see, the parts of ourselves that we want others to know. Then we have clients' family albums and other photobiographical collections, which is amazing, and it's how you can put together your personal narrative and find out things about your family, the beliefs that were built during your childhood, and even the information that you may not be aware of it. And this is actually on the exclusive, I may say, on the realm of phototherapy and not therapeutic photography. And then we have, in the last one, the client's photoprojective interactions. And this is something that overlaps with all, because it means that we reflect on each photo, on each image that we are working with. We reflect our own inner maps, our own perceptions about the world. And it is this meaning that we are actually working on. And as you see in therapeutic photography, which draws its techniques from phototherapy, as you see here, we have photo viewing, posing, planning, creating collages, and discussing about this. Are the techniques that we are using for our own selves when we are working to increase our self-awareness in our own reflective activities, or the thing that we're using, the techniques that we are using in our professional practice, either if we are coaches, counselors, educators, and so on. And its purpose here is to create positive change, to enhance well-being, to help us fulfill our goal. And this is actually something that relates really well with coaching, because in coaching, our purpose is to create positive change for our clients. And, you know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, or in this case, meaning is in the eye of our client. And that's why we are here to support our clients to find their own meanings in the photos. We don't interpret. We just guide them with questions and stimulate and find their own answers. And this is something quite scientifically based, I may say, because the meaning that we are getting from a visual stimulus is creating by us during the process of perceiving it, which it is composed actually of the filters that we have, our personal symbols, our unique inner maps, our own experiences. And through photos, we reach out directly to our client's inner world in a way which I find really gentle and smooth. And while discussing a photograph, we can see how the inner talk is surfacing, and with the help of powerful questions, your client becomes aware of themselves more. You know, the limiting beliefs can be so transparent when working with photos. And of course, we have some rules when working with photography, and I think any kind of professional practice. I will repeat myself here, it's no interpretation, because I've been asked so many times, what does it mean when I work with some clients? And I'm telling you, don't fall into that trap. You have to throw the question back in their field and maybe explain the process again, because it is important for them to find their own answer. It's not about you, but it is about them. Questions, we have questions here. We just back up our questions with a visual enhancement to help the process, but the questions remain. And then we have the ethics, which are really important, because it's really easy to get tempted to use this tool. It's so magical, and if you try it yourself, you know that it works magic. And we are not here to impose our own preferred tools and practices. We are here to help them out in their own process and agenda, and that's important, to be constantly aware of what they need before jumping in and throwing them pictures to work with. And just as a short recap, the benefits of using photography in coaching, and I'm talking here from my own experience. For me, it helped me build a relationship, that popular rapport, which I wasn't that confident at the beginning with. I didn't use that often at the beginning of my practice, but little by little and with experience, that got better, and photography really helped here because it's opening conversation. It's inspiring, and it's making the process more fun and relaxing. And if your client is blocked, it's a way of helping them see new perspectives and new options, which is something that makes the coaching session really empowering. And it can be in forms of collages like vision boards, or you can just adapt some activities that you are doing in coaching using photography. What you see here is a photo from one of my workshops where I'm adapting the value elicitation exercise with photos instead of words, which was really powerful, as it was helping everybody finding that the most important things for themselves. Then I have some tools that I'm using, the point of view coaching cards, the coaching game, and Punctum, which are really powerful, and you can play around with that. And also we have now available a lot of free stock photography websites where you can download your own set of photos, and you can start playing around with those for yourself and then try out with your clients. Be as creative as you can, because there are no recipes for using photography in your coaching practice or in your trainings. Actually, it's just your imagination and intuition on what's working best for the objective of your session. And I have a list of examples of how you can use coaching cards and photos in your practice or with yourself. But I suggest that instead of me just talking for another half hour, I suggest we try a little bit of practice, if you agree.
Yes, definitely.
I suggest we play together, because I see it actually as a break. So it's the first time I'm doing it online. I hope it will be as powerful as it is in the live practice. So what I'd like you to do now is to take a break, to relax, sit comfortable, have your coffee around you or your glass of water, because I will do with you an activity inspired by the coaching game from points of view. And to fit this online framework, the cards were chosen at random just before this session. In a face-to-face meeting, this is the equivalent of choosing from a stash of cards facing down, which can be really inspiring and helping us overcoming the rational part and reaching out more subtly to our unconscious. I will guide you through the process, and I will be joining you. And at some point during the discussion, I will invite you again to share your thought in the chat room. That's the way we can do it. So I prepared some photos of you, but before that, take a few moments to choose a topic that you want to explore further, a topic in your life that it's important, maybe a goal that you want to explore, a dream, something that you need more perspectives on. One topic that will stay with you for the entire activity. Okay. So can you all see the screen?
Yes, thank you.
I hope you do. Okay. Please have in mind your topic and our first question, which is my real challenge. And then please take a look at this photo. What do you see in it? What does it consist of, like the details or colors or shadows, patterns, textures? What do you think happened one moment before the photo was taken? What happened after? Where are you in the photo? Do you find your place in it? Do you like it or not, and why? What would you change in it? And how do you feel by looking at it? What is the connection between your answers and what you'd like to explore in your life today? If you'd like to share something about this photo before moving to the next one, please feel free to do that, and I will read out loud. Okay, if not, we are moving to the second photo of the process. Okay, so worker B is in the hive. I like the smile on the girl's face who is standing. It reminds me of a wartime picture of people looking squashed and stressed and gray. Wow. It makes me think of crowds and commuting for long hours. Okay, and to a job I hate. Please have in mind the topic. Don't forget what you want to explore today. What is holding me back? So we'll repeat the same questions mostly. What do you see in the picture? What is the story it reveals? What details draw your attention and why? What do you think happened one moment before the photo was taken? What happened after? What misses from the picture? What would you add or change? Where are you in it? Do you find your place in it? What memories does it bring back to you? What story does it evoke, and how it is connected with the topic that you choose for today? If you'd have to pick a book title for it, what title would you give it? And what does it tell you about your topic? If you want to share some book title with us, I'd be happy to see some. So we have from Nelly, to me it connects with the freedom of expression, authenticity. Fly amidst dreams. Dare to express yourself. Curiosity, not speaking but looking up. From Mother, the girl who knew too much. The girl behind the smile. Wow, you're so inspiring. How to get away from depression. I must confess, I would read all your books. And now, which are my resources? Again, we are talking about your topic, which I don't know. It's only you that knows about it. Which are my resources? What is the story that you're seeing in this photo? What details are the most important for you? What do you think happened one moment before the photo was taken and after? Do you like it? Why? Or if you don't like it, why? How do you feel by looking at it? What memories, if it does it bring back to you? What does it have to do with the question and your today's topic? And what is the connection between your answers and what you'd like to explore in your life today? If you'd have to pick a newspaper title, what title would you give it? Okay, so we have from John, not really too artificial, but then from Mother, Free as a Bird, Communication as a Song, wow, Courtship. From Liam, You Are Not Alone. Colorful Edges. Friends. Love is in the Answer. The Moment Before the Fall. Love the colorful, fluffy little birds. Yeah, they're really cute. So many different answers in only one picture. This is amazing. We have one more. What do I need to move forward? Or simply, what do I need? What do you see in this picture? What is the detail that is drawing your attention and why? What do you think happened one moment before the photo was taken? Where are you in the photo? Do you find your place in it? How do you feel by looking at it? What memories does it bring back to you? Or emotions? What story does it evoke to you and how it is connected with your topic? What is the connection between your answers and what you saw in this picture and what you'd like to explore today? I'm laughing with her. Yeah, I'm smiling too, even with the video closed. Life is too short not to enjoy it. I can't stop smiling. From John, no apparent feelings, a moment of realization. Good. I feel uplifted. Looks like anthropological travel picture. So you see how many realities we project into this photo. And they're all yours and all correct and all amazing. So this is a process that we went through. I leave you one moment for you to review it from the beginning to the end, having in mind your topic and the questions that we try to answer today using the photos. Which is my real challenge? What is holding me back? Which are my resources? And what do I need to move forward? So now going back a bit to your topic and what you wanted to explore today. What do you take from this exploration? What was useful, valuable, and what can you use from now on? And I'd like to see some answers going. This helped me out. The fact that we are all visual these days. Kind of like lockdown. We are all in this experience together, but no one will feel it the same as anyone. Indeed. Photos as a tool of introspection. We make meanings out of everything. Yes, we do. Made me slow down. It was very interesting to discover that all pictures were so well connected and applicable to my topic. And for some reason, I think it is possible to find connections for a number of other topics too. Similar to Jung's early work on mandalas. Indeed, that's too. Well, phototherapy practice and this photographic practice is used in our work here, right? Having their roots in psychotherapy and yeah, Jung's early work on mandalas too. Okay, so I can stop sharing my screen because that was my visuals for today, and I will try opening the video again if it's possible. That was really strange, talking with the screen, not being able to see you and interact verbally. Some other answers, we label everything. I found answers for my topic as if you have selected on purpose. Well, the photos weren't selected on purpose. I was just picking at random. So, and this is a way you can use it yourself. This is how I'm using at home. For example, I have I printed out some photos from the internet, from the free stock photos collections, and some Sunday morning I'm just picking up at random a photo, and I am using the questions just to explore my own topics, to see the possibilities in there.
So Kizzy is asking you, Iulia, is there a method you use to the photographs that you select, or would the same photographs work for, would the same situation work for any photographs?
So
started off by saying you picked it randomly, but is it really random, or is there more of a process?
I have a pool of around 300 photos that I downloaded, and I'm picking out from them because it can be really overwhelming to just go every day to select one from the internet. We have too many options in there, so I have my own stack, and then I have these points of view cards, and they are like 52 cards, and they can be used anytime, even though they are the same photos, because the fact that we are projecting our meanings to the photos that we are viewing, it means that every time that we are using a photo, we project something different. Try change your topic and work with the same photo, then the answers will be different.
And where can we get hold of these photo card decks?
So these ones, the points of view cards are on their website, points of view. If you're Googling it, it's the first thing that come up, or you can just go around and create your own stash if you want to have more options.
So which, Liam's asking, where do you get the free stock photographs to create your own? What would you recommend?
My favorite is in Splash.
Slash.
I think I can in Splash. I will type it here.
Yes, good idea, Marian. Buy postcards. They will work too. They're very evocative.
Yeah, exactly. Great idea. And magazines as well. You can just cut photos from magazines. If you have old magazines that you are not using, they're working fine.
I was going to ask you actually, because I've used magazines as an icebreaker at the start of an exercise, given people scissors and big pieces of paper and half a dozen magazines, and they cut out the words or the pictures that says something to them. But actually having the photographs or the cards speed the whole process up, doesn't it?
Yeah, indeed. And some really love the cards, and some cards are really well done. Well, I have another example. Well, I'm kind of collecting them because I'm working constantly with cards. The wisdom thinkers. They are. Let me show you one card as an example.
Are they very similar to cards like the 4 archetypes or tarot cards and things like that? If we've got those,
yes, yes, and even these ones are based on archetypes, but they're really colorful and I'm really detailed and can really work out for some people.
There's lots of fabulous box of cards out there. The goddess set. I've got dozens on my bookshelf, but I've never thought of using them in that way. I wanted to ask you, Iulia, while we're waiting for people to put their questions in the chat box, when you're using the photographs with the client, do you ever take their own photographs? And if so, is it like working with a true mirror? It helps them have an awareness of who they really are and what they really look like. Or do you not go down that route?
I tried that, not that many times, I must confess. I'm telling them what I'm doing, like I'm asking permission first, so they have to agree with that. But yes, it works, because when they see themselves, and when we are seeing ourselves, when we are taking a selfie, for example, is one thing that we are showing, and there are some beautiful things about us, some beautiful characteristics that we are not aware of and that are not so transparent for us when we are looking in a mirror, but someone else can reflect back to us. And that's really a self-esteem enhancer, big time.
Mm-hmm. I know it's quite effective for weight loss clients, but I wasn't really sure about any other examples.
Yeah, and in that case, it's it can also be a process, like a homework, where you can give them photos to document the process itself, like before and after photos, but the entire process, and then they really can witness change, even though the waiter is not showing them the desired targets. But if they are documenting the process, it can be really motivational.
Okay. And you mentioned Judy Weiser's book. Are there any other books that you recommend on this subject?
There are some also available on Amazon. Phototherapy in the digital age.
Okay, so this would be the words.
Actually, on Judy Weiser website, there is a list of resources. I can give you the link in the chat box so that you have access to it. Just let me type here.
What if somebody isn't visual? We hear this a lot with clients, and of course we're all visual because we can all describe, you know, our front gate and the drive and our front door and the hallway. But a lot of people think they're not visual, so they could look at the photographs and just say, I can't see a connection. How do you help them overcome that, Iulia?
Well, if it doesn't come up naturally, I don't enforce it.
I think we'll turn our videos off again for the bandwidth because I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Should I close mine? You let me know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't, and that's why I mentioned ethics during the conversation today. It's really important to have in mind their well-being, their own agendas, and not ours. So it's not about me using photos, it's about my client's agenda and what they need and what would be helpful for them. So if photos won't work, I won't use that.
Okay, so it really is for your visual clients.
You can ask permission and try something new out, and that may reveal answers themselves. But if it won't work,
yes, John is saying the Zen cones, Zen experience, lovely set of cards. I've got those. Okay, so
we have plenty of opportunities of cards out there and really beautiful ones. I used one in my therapy with my therapist, a set of cards which were actually kind of paintings, and they worked amazing. So we have plenty of opportunities, and I think in every country we can order some tools that we can use.
Yes, yeah, definitely. Marion is saying, I think if we pick the photo out of a selection, most people will get something because they picked it. Yes, good point, Marion. It has a connection, otherwise they wouldn't pick it. So just before we wrap up, any last questions, please do put them in the chat box. But as we learned from Jennifer Britton in the Virtual Conversations webinar yesterday, it's a really good exercise to just spend 75 seconds or so writing down what you got out of today. Because by the time we finished all the webinars, 4 webinars today, and if you went back to your CPD notes, you probably won't remember. So we're just going to have 75 seconds of quiet time while you write down on your own CPD mind map what you got out of today that you do not want to forget, that's an important action you're going to take away with you. Okay. So any last questions while we have Iulia in the hot seat?
Sorry, can you please repeat?
No, I don't see any more questions coming through, but lots of thank yous. And for your first experience of doing the cards online, it worked very well. And obviously practice makes perfect. It will only get better. And of course you can reach a wider audience, Iulia. So very well done. Thank you very much. Lots of good food for thought, very interesting. And people are writing, it's a very inspiring session, excellent delivery, very enjoyable. Thank you, really enjoyed it. So you've achieved another one of your goals and touched a lot of people's lives this morning. So thank you, Iulia. And good luck with the rest of your journey, and good luck to everybody who wants to use coaching and photography in their coaching practice. Iulia, apart from your IAPC&M directory webpage, where can people get in touch with you who want to know more?
Well, I'm around on my website and Facebook page, Uprise Action. I'm writing in the chat room here. It's upriseaction.com.
Mm-hmm.
And if you connect with me on Facebook, I'll be more than happy to discuss, to talk, to just become friends.
Great. Well, Kizzy says she's enjoyed this webinar the best so far of what we've done on the ICW week. So well done. You've been a big hit.
Thank you. And thank you for joining me today. You made my home more vivid. I'm really energized and inspired. I have a lot to learn from each of you, and every experience that I'm in, it's enriching me. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you. And our next call is 2 p.m. UK time, where we're going to be with Johnny Cooper. And Johnny is a Facebook marketing expert who hates marketing and hasn't spent a penny on marketing. So that's going to be really interesting. So I look forward to seeing as many of you on that call again as late. But thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye, everybody. And thank you, Iulia.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye. Have a great day ahead.
Thank you.